1962, on the release of Dr. No, music has played an important part within the films, whether it be an action-aided instrumental, a musical incidental, or even a rip-roaring theme song. Hello, welcome to the Bond Room Unlocked, whereby we take an item from this 27-year-old Bond collection and relate it to one of the films that we know and love. So let's start with Bond fan Natasha telling us about her favourite Bond song.
Hello, my name's Natasha. I'm the charity manager of the 007 GB Club. Victoria kindly asked me what is my favourite Bond theme tune. I've always been a fan of the older Bond films. I'm a big Sean Connery fan. And I would have said, up until very recently, Diamonds Are Forever. Iconic, instantly recognisable, a big belter from Shirley Bassey. And then I went to the 60th anniversary events held at the BFI last October. And before the showing of Dr. No, one of the first films, they had a medley of theme tunes played. And immediately I heard the opening bars to Nobody Does It Better. The hairs on the back of my neck stood up. I hadn't heard it in a long time. And I just was absolutely spellbound by it. The lyrics, the theme tune, Carly Simon's voice. I think it took me back to when I first saw the film. The Spy Who Loved Me was my very first film, Bond film. And seeing it on the big screen again, which I did a couple of days after that, when they played the theme tune again, had the same reaction from me. I don't know whether it's nostalgic, but I certainly have played it repeatedly on Spotify since and never got bored of it. I think it's just one of those tunes that can instantly take you back, and for me it takes me back to a happy place. So yes, The Spy Who Loved Me, Carly Simon, Nobody Does It Better is definitely the best.
Thanks, Natasha. Nobody Does It Better, the power ballad from 1977, composed by Marvin Hamlish, with lyrics by Carol Bayer Sayer, and performed by singer Carly Simon. This certainly is in my top 10, and it's the first theme that is titled differently to the name of the film. Of course, The Spy Who Loved Me is mentioned numerous times lyrically within the song. And for me, it works on two levels. We get Bond the professional and Bond the lover. Nobody Does It Better makes me feel sad for the rest. Nobody does it half as good as you. 'Cause baby, you're the best. Great choice. Now, Craig from Cue the Music Facebook group has a very different choice.
Hi, Craig here from Thank You for the Music Facebook group. I've been asked by Victoria to say a few things about one of my favourite Bond songs, and the one that instantly came to mind for me is Diamonds Are Forever, the Shirley Bassey entry from 1971. Superbly written by John Barry and Don Black. It evokes such lyrics as, I don't need love, what good would love do me, which harks back to the previous film, On Her Majesty's Secret Service, where Bond has just lost his wife, she'd just been murdered. It also has such tantalising lines as touch it, stroke it and undress it. As John Barry famously said, you know, when you're singing it, you've got to think as though you are with the male. But yeah, it's a superb song. For me, very underrated as a Bond song. I personally think it's Shirley Bassey's best out of the three that she did, although others may disagree with that. So once again, my favourite is Diamonds Are Forever.
Indeed, I totally agree with Craig here. Diamonds Are Forever is my favourite Shirley Bassey number. Her iconic Goldfinger smash from 7 years previously prompted the singer to return for a second time. However, Diamonds Are Forever was never as impactful as Goldfinger on the audience. I want to share with you a piece of memorabilia that indicates my favourite Bond song within the franchise. I have here a framed 7-inch version of Nancy Sinatra's rendition of You Only Live Twice from the film of the same name. And it's framed, it's ready to go, just going to be waiting to put it in somewhere in the Bond room here. If we just turn it round, it's all ready to be hung, and you can get these from www.lornakyle.com. Lots of different options there, but it's just nice to have, you know, the record actually on your wall. I mean, you've got it here, You Only Live Twice, Nancy Sinatra by Reprise Records, written by Barry and Brickus. So yes, it's just a nice item. Why do I like You Only Live Twice? Well, for me, it evokes the style of the film Japan, with its sweeping strings and horns, melodies instantly recognisable. And the lyrics to the song were written by Leslie Brickus, with music by John Barry, the Bond veteran. Frank Sinatra was asked to record the song, but he suggested his daughter, Nancy, and it was far from an easy experience, with 30 takes being undertook until they got the material that they needed to splice together, and we hear the version that we have today. Anyway, it must well have been good, because singer Robbie Williams sampled the opening bars of the song on his song Millennium in 1998, with a very Bond-esque video to boot. Finally, let's hear from TBR regular Neil on his very different song choice.
Hello, Norfolk Agent here. Talk about my favourite Bond song. Well, it has to be You Know My Name by Chris Cornell from the soundtrack of Casino Royale. Now, Casino Royale is not my favourite film by any means, but the song is an absolute banger, top tier Bond tune. If I ever need to get fired up, I put this on. It just, from note one, it just starts and doesn't let go. Chris Cornell uses every trick in the book to bring a big, brassy, ballsy, bombastic song to the big screen, and it works on its own as well. Some songs, like No Time to Die, work with the credits. This one, You Know My Name, you could listen to it any time. It could be a rock song that he made when he was in Audioslave. It's that good. It doesn't just need to be part of a soundtrack. And the lyrics are amazing. There are allusions to diamonds and hearts that obviously go with the poker scene later in the film, but it's two lines specifically that I really, really like, and that is, the coldest blood runs through my veins, which is just like amazing writing, and You Know My Name, being that it had been 5 or 6 years since Die Another Day, I'm worried people might have forgotten. So they've just reinforced it there with that line, You Know My Name. No mention of his name, You Know My Name. It just, I'm still listening to it today, sends shivers up my spine. It's a wonderful, wonderful song, brilliantly written, brilliantly produced, not overproduced like some of the 80s stuff was, just absolutely just top tier rock and roll, just a rock tune. From start to finish, you just can't, you don't get better than that.
Again, another great choice, and very different in style to what had come before. Far grittier, far rockier. And remember, previously in the Brosnan era, all the songs were female led, so this was a refreshing change, and it reflected the change in actor playing Bond also. It's well within my top 10, this one, and it's the best song within the Craig era. It's just a shame that it didn't win an Academy Award, because I think it's better than the ones that have won an Academy Award so far.
You want something to fire you up after you've seen the amazing pre-title sequence into the film itself. That 3.5 minutes sets you up for the rest of the film. You know, after that song, the film is going to absolutely blow your socks off, and for the most part the film does. The song certainly does, and the film nearly does. I just can't find the words for it. You know, my words don't do enough justice to the songwriting. It's just amazing. I don't normally feel like that about songs, but it might be in my top 10 favorite songs of all time. Maybe. I don't know. If it's not, it's damn close.
Don't you just love seeing a bit of passion in a Bond fan? It's great. So that's it for part 1 of the theme song episode. Part 2 will return later on in the year with more Bond song choices. If you have enjoyed this episode, then please give it an MI6 stamp of approval and click on the notifications below. And why not subscribe to this channel so you don't miss out on any further missions. You can find me on Facebook, and you can also find me on Instagram too with more fabulous Bond content. I'd like to thank Bond fans Natasha, Craig and Neil for taking the time out to give their opinion on their favourite Bond song. I really do appreciate it, and I appreciate you joining me here at the Bond Room Unlocked.